All right. Well, Samir, welcome. Thank you for joining me.
Thanks, Brendan. Really excited to be here.
Yeah. I'll start you off with a softball question. I know a lot of people know what GameChanger is, but for those who don't, why don't you tell me a little bit about it? Give us a 10,000 foot description.
Sure. Well, first of all, GameChanger is a happiness company. That's the product we sell. We connect parents and grandparents to the most important game of the week, which is what the game that their kids are playing in. And we do that through our app, which lets you watch your kids play while the game's happening, or you can watch highlights or the action afterwards. You can get stats and scores. And it's a way to stay connected with your family and what everyone's doing, and with your whole community. And we have teams and families using our app in every state and most communities in America.
Yeah. I mean, the scale of it is what really strikes me, especially from my point of view as a sports business reporter. It just seems like venture capital and private equity are kind of just discovering youth sports, but you guys have been in there for a long time, right? The app's been around since 2009, and you have a huge presence in the diamond sports, and now moving into basketball, right?
Yeah, you're absolutely right about the scale and about the interest. The number of games is immense because every team and every age group and every sport. So there's more games covered on Game Changer every 2 months than have been played in the entire history of all American professional sports. It's just the scale is immense. I mean, we're going to do almost 8 million games this year. So people have kind of figured this out. It's also a space that's super fragmented, right? There's teams everywhere, organizations, and so there's a lot of excitement about how you can continue to innovate here for on behalf of families, and a lot of people interested, a lot of venture or private equity money, as you mentioned, coming into the space.
Yeah, and you're not the only player in the field. There's a lot of money coming in. There are a lot of there's some pretty interesting companies in some niches, some
Yeah.
specific sports. And some hardware folks, and NBC even has their own sort of platform they're starting up. But given given Game Changers scale, is it already game over? Are you guys the killer app?
Well, our customers who use us certainly feel and say that they love using our product, but there's a ton of great solutions out there, and people coming at it from a lot of different angles, right? It's not just from where we're at. You have folks looking at the event and tournament space. You have people looking at kind of registrations, training, coaching. We want to put the best product out there that adds the most value to families and coaches and teams. And so far, those people love what we're doing. But we have a ton of excitement and motivation to keep growing. There's a huge amount of opportunity to do even more.
Yeah, I
Family,
mean, oh, sorry, go ahead, go ahead.
I was saying families are thinking about youth sports Monday to Sunday. They're thinking about everything from registering to traveling to games to playing them to getting the content to getting better. We'd love to help them in as many ways as possible.
Yeah, from a tech standpoint, tell me a little bit about what you guys have done in the past year, and maybe what you are hoping or planning to roll out in the next year or so.
Yeah, it's been really exciting because we're asking coaches or parents or volunteers at the game to use their phone or tablet to capture the content, to stream and score the game. And we're trying to get to a place, and we made a lot of progress on this front this year, of set it and forget it, where you can automatically capture all the action and the insights that you want using a mobile device. And so that's all about embedding AI, specifically computer vision, to see the field and see the action onto the device. You can do that to an extent with custom hardware, and it takes time to kind of have that video process. We love the convenience and accessibility of being able to do it on a mobile device, and so we're building out that. We've rolled out a bunch of features, particularly for basketball this year and this fall, to allow you to automate the capture of that content. And there's a lot more to go, but we're really excited about where we're headed in that arena.
Yeah. Let me shift gears a little bit, and let's talk about Dick's Sporting Goods, your parent company. And I was reviewing some statistics that the Dick's management have have talked about GameChanger over the past year, and some of them are really striking. I mean, the top line number that there'll be $100 million in GameChanger revenue this year really stands out. I mean, that's remarkable. How is that generated? Is that all premium subscription money?
Yeah, thank you for that. And we're really proud of what the team's done to get us there. And yeah, our primary focus is subscriptions, and that's comparable to what other apps do. And you can subscribe as a parent, a grandparent. You can consume some of the content for free, and you can pay a subscription. You can pay monthly, you can pay annually, and yeah, we're really excited about continuing to do that. And you mentioned Dick's Sporting Goods. The partnership and alignment is absolutely incredible. I think it was just a really visionary thing for Dick's to see the value in GameChanger when it was acquired at the end of 2016. Just a tremendous partnership. To us, there's no better combination between the two platforms.
Is it? Oh, and that $100 million number, that's just direct revenues that you guys are
Yes.
generating.
Yes.
So
And parents and grandparents, etc.
yeah. I mean, that doesn't even count then the great halo effect you have with Dick's, right?
We just love serving these families, and when you think about Dick's Sporting Goods, youth sports families, the parents, the kids, are really important customers of Dick's Sporting Goods. They're going there for equipment and apparel and footwear, and of course coming to us for digital content. But it's the same customer. And one of the other things that we've shared publicly is that a GameChanger user who has a Dick's scorecard, which is their loyalty program, spends over twice as much annually at Dick's compared to just a typical scorecard loyalty member. So we're just these are just incredible customers that we believe are adding a lot of value into their lives.
Yeah, fascinating. Yeah, tell me. I mean, tell me a little more about how GameChanger nests into Dick's. I guess what is your mandate from management?
Mandate is to continue to serve youth sports families and the ecosystem of youth sports. We know that there's a lot of numbers thrown around, but generally speaking, the youth sports market is thought of as like a $40 billion market with a lot of growth. And our mandate is to find ways to improve the experiences for youth sports families, and a lot of that's around digital content. But we're excited about other ways that we can serve those families in the future.
Yeah. I mean, I'll keep tooting your horn here, but there's some more stats that I thought were super interesting. And one is the amount of time a user spends on the app each day, 45 minutes a day, which I think is well up from a couple of years ago, and as well as the fact that a family will use the app on average for about 6 years, say from like 6th grade through 12th grade.
Yes.
And my question off of that is not really a youth sports question or sports question. It's more a brand question. And how do you create that brand loyalty? What qualities do you think you're doing that draws people to you that way?
It starts and ends with the best product. We truly believe that you need to understand your customers and what they want and give them a product that really impacts their lives. We have been what we call kind of a product-centric company. We invest heavily in our case, it's a digital software product, in building that product, in getting feedback. We update our app, but we have an iPhone and an Android app, and we update one or the other every single week. And that gives us the opportunity. Sometimes it's a small update, sometimes big, but we give our customers the opportunity to give us feedback. And if there's something that doesn't work or they don't like, we can immediately fix it. We've been fortunate, and our customers have rewarded us with a high net promoter score. It's over 80. And they love the product. I think you can try and sell an inferior product. That's not our culture. Our culture is to build a great product and show our customers why it's so valuable. That creates loyalty, like to really, really connect with them. And make them feel like you're really improving their lives, and there's a fair value exchange in return for that.
Yeah, interesting. How does that affect the your long-term thinking for GameChanger in the sense of potential revenue
Yeah.
streams, right? Because there's potentially a lot there beyond subscription fees, right? There's doing stuff with data and then there's
Yeah.
video, all those sorts of things. How does wanting to hold on to that brand loyalty kind of influence your long-term vision for GameChanger?
We think the long-term place that the industry is going to go around technology is a lot more innovation is needed. And so we're going to be, I agree, there's a lot of other monetization opportunities. We are going to work very hard to put out a really good product around any new monetization opportunities. Maybe that's a broader unified experience. Maybe it's additional new things we do. But what we are going to stick to is delivering to our customers a great product. You can do that with speed if you have the right culture of customer centricity and sort of focusing on great product development, which we're fortunate to have, and our team is just wonderful at that. But we don't think you need to get away from, we want to get away from that knitting of focused on great product. And so as we think about adjacencies and other things we do, we're going to bring what we hope is the best product to the market in all of those areas.
Yeah. So where is the main lines of growth for GameChanger going forward, right? So you're big in the diamond sports like baseball, softball, getting into basketball. Is growth just adding more sports, or is it expanding to new geographies or new features, or I imagine some combination of all three?
Yeah, it's a combination of things. Most definitely new sports. We're very excited about our progress in basketball. We're really excited about volleyball. We're excited about soccer. So all the major team sports, football as well. So we're going to continue to extend our game content product and capability into all those sports. A lot of the investment is going to be around the automation and AI. But again, there's other things that these families are doing to support their youth sports experience. So we're looking at all those, but there's a lot of effort and time spent in getting ready for the game and training and getting better, coaching and training, registration. There's a lot of equipment that's sold. Of course, that's part of the core Dick's Sporting Goods business. And how can we, with our data, improve and personalize the experience that you might have purchasing equipment? I think those are all opportunities that are pretty tremendous, and we're looking at all of those, and as we kind of grow our audience here.
Yeah. One area I've seen a lot of startups in and a lot of effort in is the apps that want to connect aspiring college athletes with coaches. Is that something that GameChanger plays in right now?
Yeah, I mean we're essentially doing that because we have athletes from sort of rec all the way up to super elite, and there are recruiters that connect with those people. We don't, we're not in that direct business, but we're creating helping those athletes create a lot of the content that they use to showcase themselves. We leave who follows your team up to your coaches. They're coaches who invite recruiters to follow these elite teams. It's up to them. So we're effectively doing that, but I think there's tremendous opportunity there to keep serving those athletes. But the best part for us is everything we build is just as useful for someone who's never going to be recruited. So we're able to kind of span the spectrum of skill level. We're fond of saying every kid is a star on GameChanger.
Yeah, speaking of being stars, do you have thoughts about NIL? Is NIL affecting business in any way?
It's not having any negative impact as far as we can say. I think that it's a tremendous opportunity if you're able to capitalize on your skills as an athlete, and it's still very early, and we have to kind of see what this means. But anything that supports kids playing more, elevating themselves, we think is a good thing, and I'm sure that we'll continue to see a lot of more innovation there. I think there probably needs to be more technology innovation in that space, as in all of youth sports.
Yeah. I'm also curious what you see from your point of view of what, if anything, youth sports today might mean for the pro leagues, right? For instance, I'm thinking,
Mhm.
right, MLB says that the best predictor of if someone will be a fan is if they've played baseball or softball
Yeah.
in the past. Is there any kind of sort of trend that you're sensing from what you see at Game Changer?
What the trend I'm seeing, which I think is really interesting and unique and good, is to what you said, is that there's a lot of interest from the pro leagues down to youth. Like you said, that's probably a lot driven by who the future audience or fan base can be. And what you're seeing now, and technology supports this, is an attempt at connecting those ecosystems more from pro to youth. One of the things we're very proud of is going back a couple of years, we established a partnership with Major League Baseball. Of course, we have a deep connection to the sport. And the vision is to connect, dare I say, even try and unify the pro to youth ecosystem. And that means a lot of things. It might mean content sharing across those ecosystems. It might mean connecting, people, professional players with youth. It might mean what can you do with the data. We think that's really positive. Obviously, there's this combination of amateur and professional, but yeah, I mean, a lot of the youth athletes and the families that we talk to and coaches, they're consumed with their play, but they look up to these professional teams and collegiate teams and players. And so to be able to connect them, I think is a really good thing. I think you're going to see that in every pro league, and that connectivity is happening. And we love that we're part of that. Again, we love the youth sports family and customer. And if part of their experience is being connected to the pro world through content or whatnot, we'd love to help facilitate that.
Yeah. Is there much of an adult rec league base for you guys? Is that yeah? I played in a hardball baseball league well, up till a few years ago, into my late 40s,
Nice.
and some of the people in that are obsessed with their stats,
Yeah.
even though it's casual play
Yeah.
and casual game.
Well, I'm going to agree with you that people are obsessed. And yeah, we don't explicitly go out of our way to market to that world, but we have a lot of organic adoption of adult leagues, softball, baseball, other sports, club teams in collegiate, that might not get
Oh,
coverage,
sure.
all of that. It's pretty widespread because you can just, the app's discoverable and usable without any support or any setup on our part, which makes it plug and play. You could be on your way to a game today and set it up on the way to the game and have it ready to use.
What are some of the important trends you see in space going forward?
Like we touched on a little bit earlier, I think it's been exciting to see the investment in the market. A lot of it, sort of call it private equity. I think it's going to force a lot of innovation. I think there's a lot of interest on the part of families for more unified experiences. And so I think you're going to see more of that. And I firmly believe that, and I've experienced this, that technology innovation is deflationary, can reduce costs through efficiency. And anytime I speak about the industry, I reinforce that I hope more and more people enter the space and innovate with technology to create better solutions for families, for coaches, for orgs, because it's going to reduce costs, it's going to create more accessibility, and get more kids playing. And I think probably everyone, government and private sector, everyone would like to see more participation in youth sports because it's generally accepted that it's really, really good for kids. And and participation has been inconsistent, and maybe it's slowing a little bit, but we want to see participation across sports going up around the country, and I think more innovation can help with that.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, and one thing, probably not for what we publish, but I'm curious. Your background's super interesting in that you're not just a sports guy, not just a tech guy. Yeah, that sort of investment banking hedge fund
Yeah.
background. That what do you draw from that these days, if anything?
Yeah, I appreciate you mentioning that. And first of all, I say I do draw a lot. That one of the cool things about having done different types of things is you have muscle memory about different experiences but then they can all relate. And one of the interesting things from financial markets is, I think, quite relevant to just being an entrepreneur and just being in fast changing environments, is if you're thinking about the markets, you might be wrong, and that'll get reflected in the price of a stock or something that you're invested in. And immediately or soon if you're wrong, and you need to be able to change your mind really fast. And I think that helps with being an entrepreneur. The facts change, the markets change, technology changes, competition changes. You have to be able to change your mind. So I think actually financial markets training is actually really good at being very flexible and humble, because you always have a scorecard out there in the market. And I think about that a lot. I won't lock in on an idea just because I've thought of it or it seemed right before, if the reality on the ground has changed.
Well, that's super interesting. Yeah, I hadn't heard anyone make that connection before. Awesome. Well, great. So unless there's anything else, we can wrap up.
Awesome.
So I'll say thank you, and then just wait to make sure I'll stop recording it. We'll just make sure it uploads. All right.
Thank you, Ben. Really enjoyed it, and I love what you're doing. It's great.
Yeah, thank you for joining me, Samir. Appreciate it.